The views, opinions, and wild ramblings expressed on this podcast are strictly those of our hosts and do not reflect the thoughts, values, or overly serious policies of their employers, sponsors, advertisers, or anyone with a legal team. All scenarios we discuss are based on past experiences, most of which we barely survived, and have nothing to do with any of our current jobs or employers. Basically, don't sue us. We're just here for the laughs, not the lawsuits.
Welcome to the Four Friends Trying to Figure Out HR, the podcast where we blend workplace drama, HR nightmares, and a way too much oversharing into one wildly inappropriate package.
Your hosts, they're a real dream team. First, we have Mama Mel, the HR queen with a knack for keeping it real and breaking the rules when nobody's looking.
Heavy on the no one's looking.
Next, we have Dr. Green, the one with all the fancy-ass degrees and the questionable sense of humor.
E equals MC squared.
Such a nerd. I'm the Big Llama. I come for the big laughs, the bigger opinions, and absolutely zero filter, because I don't even know what that word means. And last but not least, we've got Jake from HR. He's not wearing any khakis, and it's questionable if he's even wearing pants, but he is here to ensure that we're breaking HR guidelines just for fun.
I'm always here to judge.
So buckle up, grab your handbook, maybe a cocktail, and join us as we figure out HR one awkward scenario at a time.
All right. Welcome to the podcast of the policies of unwritten rules. The podcast where we unpack the real playbook behind workplace culture. Let's be honest. The employee handbook doesn't tell you everything. It doesn't tell you when to speak up, when to stay quiet. It doesn't even warn you that one of those managers that smiles in the meeting but kills ideas after hours. And it definitely won't tell you the most important conversations to happen or not to happen after those Zoom calls end. Every week, we're peeling back the layers, talking to insiders, leaders, and everyday employers who have cracked the code and paid the price. And today, that's our topic. So, who wants to start on the unwritten rules?
I want to start just by saying that, Jake from HR, if y'all didn't hear that Southern twang, he said, "Thang." I just want to make sure y'all heard that.
Well,
it was so Southern, I laughed.
Let's close the book on that.
He said book.
Because we're talking about policies here, not twang. So,
okay,
Dr. Gray, let's talk about your unwritten rules. Come on.
I have 10 of them, but they are the 10 of the. But we're not, of course, we're going to take our turns and all that stuff. But I think the part that I am so enthralled with, yes, look it up, is the mandatory fun. The means you're coming to the pizza party.
Yeah.
I have, even as HR, when they're doing good, when the employees are doing great, like they're performing, excelling, etc., give them pizza. Don't give them pizza when it's too late. They're doing bad, so we're going to encourage them with pizza. No. You're doing good, give them the pizza. But also at the same time, do not force them to go to that pizza party. That is not the way to get your employees in one area. So, 1, keep it optional. 2, please do not. I've had some who've done it. Don't make us RSVP to this crap. Don't do that. And if you don't show up, it's okay. There is no risk for you not showing up and being the subject of the next morale boosting jokes.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Dr. Green. I'm going to have to disagree. I agree with everything you said as far as what management shouldn't do. But let's face the reality. It happens every day, happens in every company. FaceTime matters. That's the unwritten rule, though. If they don't see you, you're invisible. And if you have your boss or your boss's boss hosting a pizza party, taking everyone bowling, and they're paying with the company dime, and you don't show up, they remember that when it comes time for promotions or a project leader, or it doesn't matter how great you are at your job. They remember the things that it's kind of like perception is reality, which is kind of like goes in with what you were saying, because those are all the unwritten rules that tie into the same subject. If you don't show up, then the perception is you're not a team player, you're not sociable, then you're not the top pick for the next promotion or the team leader position or to get to lead a project. Or sometimes if there's negotiation and like raise compensation differences because they can give someone an extra 2% that might be a better team player, but yet they have to justify why they're doing it. Well, now they've justified why they're not going to give it to you because you don't seem like a team player. Those are the unwritten rules. It's not fair. You shouldn't have to be forced. You shouldn't have to show up to that pizza party. But go ahead and don't show up to that pizza party and see how many projects you get picked for to lead in the majority of companies. I'm not going to say there's not people and companies out there that do it right, but the majority of the companies, that's the unwritten rule. You don't participate, you don't get to play.
Okay, but I want to bring this little topic back, and I think it was from our second or third episode. Do not, for the love of all things that are great in this world, please do not bring me Little Caesars. I am not serving Little Caesars. I will serve Pizza Hut, stuffed crust cheese. I don't care. I want Domino's, thin crust. Those are my top two. So y'all can have your own other little debate on who's better, but Pizza Hut and Domino's.
Hey, be careful. Perception is reality, because if you start saying that in front of the coworkers during that pizza party, well, now you're bougie. Now you're better than everybody else. Unwritten rules. You got to follow the status quo sometimes. You have to pick and choose your battles so you can win the war. And some battles will cost you the war.
That's why I don't bring in Little Caesars.
Come on, Mama Mel. What's your thoughts on this topic?
Wait, so we're saying to make it optional, right? Like we all agree that these should be optional. But it's interesting that you said presence makes an impact, because the same can be flipped. If my boss's boss's boss is buying us pizza or is taking us out to dinner, number one, I think we've talked about this before too. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to. Number one, I get real weird about eating in front of people. I know I've said this before. Also, like, what am I going to talk to, like, Becky in accounting about when
Becky.
Becky's always making cameos when I don't know her?
Right.
I would rather come home, lay in my pregnancy pillow, and watch something on TV. I don't want to come. What I was getting at is presence makes an impact. I don't know you, boss of my boss of my boss. And you buying me, taking us out to dinner makes me uncomfortable. I'm just talking for myself. I'm not talking for everybody else. Anyway, the point that I was really making is that leader that is making an attempt to bring everybody together, like, you need to have presence. You need to make an impact. How often are you communicating with your employees so that they know they can come to dinner? It's a comfortable environment. It's going to be, harmonious environment for us all. It's not going to be awkward. I'm not going to be looking at you like, oh my God, that's my boss's boss's boss. Shit, I better eat my pizza with a fork and a knife. Like, your presence makes an impact too. How often are you meeting with your lower level employees?
No. Yeah.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
So my take on it is twofold, right? Obviously, the mandatory fund is nonsense, right? Like to me, right? Don't if I can RSVP out of it, I will, but I get the backlash that comes with it, right? It's like you don't want to participate, you're being antisocial, you're not a team player. And yes, in the discussions of your performance, which, let's just face it, the way you should think, obviously, is that your performance matters. What you put together, should be critical to your performance review. And in 90% of the workplaces it is, but that small 10%, right? The small items, when you have leaders that I would venture to say are either inexperienced or are toxic, they don't care what your performance looks like. It's more of, how do I take care of those that, follow my agenda and the way that I do things. And so sometimes they'll remember, like, and it's silly because we calibrate when we do the calibrations and we do different types of things in our HR role. They'll say things like, well, the last 6 events I haven't really seen Johnny so much, but Becky, she's at every event. And you're like, but Becky's work sucks. Like, she's horrible at XYZ. And that's what I'm saying. So the mandatory fund plays a role. And then the mandatory FaceTime, or the face, I forgot what it was called, right? What is it? FaceTime Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Is somebody playing music?
Yeah, somebody playing music.
Like bachata? Anyway, so anyway,
hey Google, turn off Matthew's TV.
Sure. Turning off Matthew's room TV.
I'm such a great parent. I love it.
that was great. That was great.
Pissed.
Super
Who
pissed.
turned off my TV?
What? No, I turned off my son's TV. I know whose TV it was.
We know. We
I'm
all
advertised.
heard, but we're saying you're a wonderful parent for doing it specifically that way, to hear your son come in and go, somebody turn my TV off.
That was great.
It was great.
Sorry, we had a squirrel moment.
No, that's fine. This happens all the time. We venture off into different things, but so as I was saying, so I was rudely interrupted by a TV and a child.
Damn it, Matthew.
That was Becky. That was Becky. No,
Becky.
the FaceTime. Okay, so the way I equate this is the most toxic workplaces is where FaceTime matters. And so if it's a healthy environment and you guys, you're being measured on actual work, some of these things have to be. It's a game that we all play. But in the most toxic places that aren't don't have good solid leadership, this FaceTime is a huge deal, right? Showing your face, being present. So it's sad, but it's a reality of work. Sometimes being at the right place at the right time, hanging out at the right meeting or the right pizza function makes a difference. And I hate that we have to say that, but it's the truth, right? And this is why we do this podcast, so people can hear the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? That we see as HR professionals, and that we hear because we are the sounding boards for the leadership. We're hearing their concerns, right? And then we hear the concerns of the employees. So yeah, you got it. I would say I didn't do that very well, and I have not done that very well. But to one point that I don't know if I think you made the point, Dr. Green, or maybe Mel. No, Mel, you made this point. If you're a leader and you only show up for a pizza party once in a while, that shame on you. Shame on you, because that creates an environment of intimidation. And then no, everyone thinks you're fake. Everyone thinks you're fake. Like if you just bring the pizza one day and you never ever talk to anybody, we know you're doing it because your engagement scores are low. Like the people know. We can see right through it. So be out there. If you're a senior leader, talk to people. Just it doesn't mean that you have to have focus groups and freaking make it all official. Just talk to people. Talk to people in your break room. Get to know the people that work with you and work for you. And trust me, it goes a long way when you ask or you have to deliver uncomfortable information.
Yeah. But I also think what kind of plays into that is, where do you want your future to be?
Yeah.
Because just because you don't socialize and you don't follow the unwritten rules doesn't mean you're going to get fired. Doesn't mean you're going to get a poor performance review. It really limits in some work environments, in some companies, and even if it's the best company in the world, it's the team you work on and leadership you report to on whether or not that's what they're looking for. for their next promotion or their next gold star employee. So you don't have to follow the rules, but you do need to know how to read the room and know what politics you have to play with those teams, those leaders, to advance your career or your goals as an individual. But that kind of ties into a segue, which I love, which is know the power chart, not the org chart. Because there are a lot of people who hold influence that don't hold titles. And to me, I think that's a great transition, because it's kind of like understanding what FaceTime truly means to the people who actually make the decisions. And then you kind of tie that in with knowing who truly holds that influential power. And I'll pass it over to y'all to kind of tackle on that. But before I do, I want to throw my 2 cents on it, which is this area is very passionate to me, because sometimes leaders don't even know that these people that report to them or on a lower level and may work on different teams hold this power, because a lot of times it's subconscious. It's literally unconscious bias that they don't realize that it's happening, because the more tenured employee that's been here for a longer period of time and performs well thinks this about you. So, there must be some truth to it. Whether they're telling themselves that or not, they feel it. It's the unconscious bias of coming from those people who hold more authority than titles. So we'll start on that and see what y'all's opinions are on it.
I mean, listen, the most powerful person in any office is the leader's admin. The power is there. The admin, the person who processes invoices, or who can bend the ear a little bit, because these leaders, right, our senior leaders, will drop their guard in front of these folks, and they're around them so often that they know the secrets, and they know the insides and the out, and they know what will work, and they know how to get that information to that leader for an approval. So that is one of Becky and admin is one of the most important people in the company. The other folks that it depends on what you want done, right? There are different levels, right? So, for example, if you get in good with the facility team, somebody from the facility team who does, the work on the building or the air conditioning, you have access to controlling some things without going through the channels. If you know the IT guy intimately, not just call them and put them in tickets, but you talk to them, you kind of schmooze with them, or you're getting your computer fixed instantly. You can pick up the phone and be like, "Hey man, I need this program installed," and it's done. So yeah, you got to know who those people are, and then take care of those people. Like hook them up, buy them lunch once in a while, or get them a snack, or just be nice to them, because they get shit on all day long. So for me, I know who the people I need to talk to, and I take care of them, because when I need a favor, I'll call it in, and they won't even hesitate, because I've treated them well. I've treated them like a human being, and I have, fostered a relationship with them. So then when I'm asking for something, it doesn't seem like it's like a huge deal, or I'm just coming to them because I need something.
I could not agree with you more on that. Think about it, right? Like, these are the people that we in HR truly partner with. Like, I'm thinking about, sure, it's great to have the IT guy. Like, you can, like Kenny said, what word did you use? Schmooze? Schmooze it up with them. It's good to, just be on that friendly level with the IT person, because I personally hate tech stuff, and if my computer is down, I want it fixed now. But think about like your facilities personnel, think about your security personnel, right? Like, these are the people that you partner with when you need to get some type of reporting taken care of, if you need to have access to the video cameras, right? Instead of going through, and then we're not saying go through the loopholes, but if you need to, it's accessible and it's right there for you. So yes, your facilities personnel, your security personnel, your cleaning staff. Oh, please be friendly with your cleaning staff. Those people hear everything, everything, all the tea. They've got it. They can give you the ins and outs of who's, dating who's fighting with who was in whose office. It's great. I love them. I really enjoy hearing them when they're in their element. And I'm like, oh, the tea you find out from the cleaning ladies. Okay. So yeah, I could not agree with you more. The
You
other
want to
thing I
know?
wanted to, yeah, go.
No, I was gonna say, as you and Big Llama are talking, I'm picturing in my head like a digital set of emotional janitor's keys. But you have all these people in this key ring.
Oh yeah.
What key do I need today?
Honestly, I wanted to segue it back to our first unwritten rule, which was the mandatory fund meetings, because I realized after Lama spoke that I just sounded like the biggest Debbie Downer ever. Listen, I'll go to these events, and 90% of the time, I'll walk out of there and be like, that wasn't too bad. I had a little bit of fun, but that's where you network too. So those meetings are important for just networking reasons. That's all I wanted to go back to that and say.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that. You're not a Debbie Downer. Come on, please. I will segue back over to the unspoken overlords of the workplace. And we're going to talk about where this, not just like departments are, because we know we're HR, and whether you believe it or not, HR we're privy to a few little extra perks. Go straight to IT. Go straight to this department versus, hey, can I put a ticket in and I got to wait 3 days? No, we don't do that. But let's talk about the person who doesn't have an office, but they have a throne. And what I mean by that is if you've ever seen I won't say a call center, but I guess where a lot of people are making calls and stuff like that. But they're the person that's sitting kind of like in the middle of everything. Like the mob boss of people. Just ready to soak up that information. Kind of like the cleaning ladies. They're ready to soak in that information and ready to pounce on that gossip and give it out. Like Jason on a hot sandwich.
So all you have to do, each of you right now, if you were to walk onto a floor, either production floor, a office floor, you know who has the chisme. You know who you talk to right away if something went like that's, I think, who you're talking about. There's always somebody
exactly
on the front line that runs the show underhandedly, knows more than the supervisor, can get things done, can get you information. There's always one person in every production area that you can find to go, oh no, I got to talk to Johnny. I know Johnny, he knows his shit. And you go over and Johnny gives you the whole scoop, but he goes, you didn't hear from me. And you walk away.
See, these are the ones that don't need a badge swipe. The door just automatically open for them.
True.
Yeah, but don't burn them though. Don't burn
No,
Becky or like they'll never share the chisme with you again.
Oh no, listen. When you burn them, you're toast. You are toast, not them, because they will find a way to make sure you are completely put out. Like they will put your business out there. When you burn them one time, Becky from admin will burn you every time. Every mistake you've ever made, every invoice that didn't have a receipt, everything gets rejected and sent to your boss with a CC to whoever. Oh no, because they know the rules. When you were in good favor, when you were in good standing with them, they let you get by with the mistake. Okay, you forgot to put this number. I'll fix it for you. Not a big deal. Got you. Right? The second you burnt them on anything, oh, you better believe that that's getting elevated to the head of accounts payable. that you screwed up on your credit card charge or whatever. They're going to just send it. And then it's not that it's not within the process. It was always the process, but they kept you out of harm's way. They will send it right up. I'm telling you. So don't burn any of these people we're talking about. Yeah, your cleaning staff. Burn one of those people. See how many times your trash gets taken out.
Oh.
Or you might find Jerry hiding over there in your corner of your office one day.
Yeah.
All these characters that we're unlocking tonight. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome, Jerry.
They're gonna put a rat in the rat's office.
No, this is great. This is great.
But now that you brought up a good topic, though, about how, if you burn Becky, she'll CC your boss on it. And I think that's a good topic because you have to think about all those people who try to use that authority, that power of CC. And that's that unwritten rule. Everyone thinks that they can just CC your boss and then it's going to make you move faster or take care of it. But what they need to understand is the unwritten rule that comes along with CCing a supervisor or an executive or a senior leader. If you're not Becky and you don't hold those people in a position where they respect your opinion and authority, or you're not their go-to, you're not that admin that they let their guard down with, there's an unwritten rule that can burn you. So unless you're Becky, unless you're the admin assistant, don't be CCing people on there.
Or my favorite one, when you're a responsible, good employee, right? You don't let your superior get blindsided with things. So you tell them ahead of time, hey, FYI, this and this is what I've got going on. In case somebody escalates, this is what I'm already doing. And then they escalate and your direct supervisor is like, oh, I knew about this already. And have you talked to her about what she's currently doing? I love that. I'm like, get them, get them.
That is a great call out. Get ahead of Becky's snitching butt. Go tell him real quick, hey, boss, I'm making some mistakes over here, but I'm working on it. So when Becky go be snitching on you, he can be like, Becky, why are you snitching? He already told me. You gonna kill her cred some. Her credit's gonna go down.
And then she's gonna come after you, and so because now you done burned her. And,
I'm just saying,
she ain't gonna be taking that whiff.
You burn me, I'm a narcissist.
We apologize to all the Beckys that we really do love Beckys.
Exactly.
We promise.
I'll make that very clear. I use Becky a lot to pick on because I've never met a Becky I don't like. I've loved every Becky I've met.
Love you, Becky. Wherever you
I
are.
do.
Love you, Becky.
Power to
Becky.
the Beckys. All right. And if you're anything like that song, we know that Becky has a butt.
That's right.
Oh.
And
Becky.
good hair. And good hair.
And good hair.
Oh, Becky with the good hair. Oh, yeah.
Becky with the good hair.
So
No, but
but
seriously, what is the
ahead,
intent? What's the intent behind CCing someone's boss? Like, you jerk.
to make them speed up. It's to make them speed up.
Well,
like,
and
you need to hurry up. You didn't do it fast enough.
Them speed up. They kind of do it to help you move faster, but a lot of times, in my experience, and it's just me, they're trying to call you out in a way that they don't think they're being looked at calling you out. And we all know that's the worst way to call someone out. I'd rather get called out in the middle of a meeting than for you to CC my boss, because at least I have a chance to defend myself in that conversation.
Listen, the CC, you have to wield it like a surgical knife and use it when it's appropriate and very carefully. Now, in an economy, right, that people are making cuts. Again, when the departments are cutting and they talk about the bottom line or percentages, do you really want to CC and bring attention to the dysfunction in your group? Like, do you really want that noise? That's what I say. You got to be very careful, because if you CC in the boss all the time, they're going to be like, what the hell is wrong with that HR team? They keep CCing me on all these issues, and that group is nothing but trouble. And when they go, hey, we need to cut, well, cut the trouble. And so you might even be burning yourself by CCing too many people too fast, too often.
You're crying wolf so much Because when you see someone, when you see someone on the email, they should look at it and go, well, I never heard from this person. Oh my God, let me read this email. And then they're actually going to look and want to know what's going on. Why did Jake from HR put me in this email? Jake never includes me in emails. And then they take you more serious. You have more credit. You have more good standing. And I think there's one more step that people can do that's worse than CCing people. And it's when you reply all.
Oh, okay.
You know when your boss sends that message out, or the leader sends that message out, and they send it to the whole team. They're like, "Hey, we're behind on X, Y, and Z," and you got that one person that replied all. Not me. I'm good. My project's finished. Why do you need to? You first of all, they replied all because they're not, or they sent it to all because they're not trying to call one person out. So why are you replying all back to single yourself out? Like, to me, that's more annoying than CCing. It's like, if you want to reply to an email, just reply to the person that sent it. Don't reply all. Now, don't get me wrong, Big Llama. There are certain email threads where my pettiness, my pettiano comes out. And yes,
it does.
I'm the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, I have done it, but I pick and choose my wars to not lose my job or my credibility with individuals that they don't matter. So, but overall, you got to know, you act your wage. Okay, I like that term, act your wage. Because if you don't have the right wage, you can't hit reply all and not expect some kind of conversation or lashing to come back at you in some form. So that's my rant.
I was to say I'm guilty of the reply all, but not the initial. You will never catch me on an initial reply all. But if you call me out or call some element of my work out, I will reply all and course correct you. I will course correct the entire email so that you know that I finished the task and y'all didn't even do it. Like a certain meeting we had.
I feel attacked.
I feel attacked. Yep, I was just about to say.
You don't have to reply all, Big Llama. You don't have to reply all to that email because we have conference calls about it. Don't worry.
Like, we'll have a conference call to have about the conference call that we had about when Big Llama sent a reply all email.
Y'all are still sour grapes. You sour ass bitches.
I'm not.
I am. I still got my post in the garage.
Nope.
I'm not a sour grape. I'm a cotton candy grape. Leave me alone.
Okay. When is it appropriate to reply all? Like, when is it
when
appropriate?
they tell you to. When they tell you to. Everyone,
honestly,
please reply all.
That is the best response. The only time it is acceptable politically, professionally, unpolitically, unprofessionally, the only time it is acceptable is when you are told to do so. Do not reply all. And when I say reply all, I'm not talking about that like if we four had a group chat. Right, okay. Right. I'm talking about when it's on there with 100, 200, 300, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 employees. First of all, you're annoying 90% of the people in that email thread because now they have one more email out of their 987 unread emails that they have to go through and get rid of. And you were part of that problem. And now you're creating a reputation for yourself that we all subconsciously hate you. And I don't even know if I know you yet. Because you're replying all the email. Like I'm not even your boss. I'm not even writing your emails, and I dislike you already. So I can imagine what the leadership thinks. And we try our best.
A kudos email.
Oh Jesus!
Oh man! Just put it
a kudos.
But they tell you. They will tell you in the email, "Hey everyone, help me wish Becky happy birthday." Then all means hit happy birthday. But if someone's like, hey, let's welcome Jim to the team, and there's 900 people in that thread, I do not want 900 emails saying, welcome to the team, Jim. Welcome to the team, Jim. Welcome to the team, Jim. Awesome, so Jim. Hey, you're
work with you.
I think are you feeling some type of way about this?
I am. I want. Look, I get
He's
anger.
fired up. He's fired up today.
I have to go to anger management at church about this. Okay, not just regular anger management. It has to be on religious grounds.
Oh my god.
Throw punch, virtual throw punch.
Yes.
Throw punches.
Merch. Merch.
Throw punch. No, throw punch is actually a reward for someone that replies
For
all.
reply all.
They need a
The person
punishment.
who stopped it.
The emails that say please do not reply all, and then
they
you get the
still
one
reply all.
dumbass reply
Oh.
all. You're like, fucking Becky, did you not
Mm.
read at the bottom? Do not
not.
reply all. No, you
You
didn't
know
read
what?
the entire.
And
My
then the
petty
reply
comes
all is
out.
thank you.
My petty comes out. I've done that with previous companies where they've done that, and I'll screenshot the part that says please do not reply back to this email, and I'll forward it just to them saying, hey, just a heads up, refer to this.
See, I felt that was something that you would do, just as being as petty as you can be.
Well,
but
now, once again, know your audience. I don't do this to leadership or to anyone that is on the same level as me. But if there's like a lower level employee, new employee, and they neglected to do their due diligence and read the entire email, I'm more than happy to help them understand that going forward, you need to read the email before you respond. It's kind of like when you get that test. You get the test and the direction says read every question before you start, and you get through 20 questions and they've already answered 19 of them, but the last one says do not write anything on this page but your name. And they've already filled out the whole page. And the first thing, the direction says read all the questions before you answer any of them. Read the
You know
email.
what they think? Yeah, then you know what they think? This is what HR does? Is this all HR does? Just correct me.
Oh no. This is not HR, Jake this is not Jake from HR. This is Jake from internal issues.
Just Jake.
Streets.
internal issues, internal affair issues.
Jake from the streets.
Exactly.
Jake from Brooklyn. Love me some Brooklyn people. Don't hate me.
What Ludacris say? A freak in the streets? No.
No, come on.
A freak in the streets?
No. Anyway, all right. Let's go. let's get back on track.
I'm a gentleman in the office and issues in the streets.
Okay, I like that. Much better than what I was going to say.
I'm not quoting Ludacris.
I do have one thought. So basically, and I'm going to go to the next topic on this piece, but for yours, it's like the Finding Nemo, the Dories of the group who just were told don't do it, and they do it anyway. I just read this 10 seconds ago, but I'm gonna hit reply all anyway because I don't listen instructions, and this is why this person probably shouldn't be in HR. But just saying. So, what about my ultimate favorite one? Because all of us have been guilty of it. Y'all know you have. We've been dealt this amazing hand of being good at what we do. So if you're too good at your job, you get more job.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
I wish. Can we bleep in TikTok videos? Because as soon as Dr. Green says that, I want that lady on TikTok that comes in and says, "You have been promoted. You are my elite employee." No extra money.
If you are that lady, we want you on the podcast.
Oh
yeah,
God,
exactly.
I'd love her.
If she listens, she has an open invitation whenever you want.
Yeah.
But she resembles that quote, Dr. Green.
Oh. But and you know what's sad about that is that you're burning out that good employee. Okay, you do a good job, right? You want to impress, so you put your best foot forward. You knock that presentation out of the park. Whatever the project, and again, it's either because your team is not as competent, or maybe they haven't been hitting their goals. You become the go-to. And now it's like, oh, Llama will do it. Let's get him to do it. Oh, let's get him to do this one. Let's get him to do that. And before you know it, you're like, dude, is anybody else going to do shit here? Or like, is it just me?
Yeah.
But think about it. Like that's actually, it's so true. It's like, oh, they did a really, really good job. Don't promote them or give them more title, but just give them more work. And it's like, come on. If you recognize the talent, then reward the talent.
Yeah, the unwritten rule. The more you do, the more they expect.
Just reward them with a pizza party.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
They're like the IRS. It's like the IRS. The more you make, the more they take.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
good.
But the note I will put on there, and this guidance I'm going to give may not be applicable to every leader, but it does apply to most leaders. I am that person. I will give you 200%. I will work 15, 18, 20-hour days if I have to, because I want to impress and so you know what I'm worth. But I have been fortunate enough in most of my jobs, especially in my current position, where like I can tell my boss, hey, boss, I'm at 150% right now. I'm good for the week. I'm good for the month. But I got to come down to 100% because I don't want to burn out. And I want to keep giving you at least a minimum of 100% every day. And most of my bosses have always been amazing where I was like, I appreciate the extra effort. We're going to finish this. And then you just, stick to the basics for a while and catch up, take a break, rest up a little bit, doing the normal day-to-day routines. You have to voice that. If you are one of those people that you give 150, 160%, there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure your team knows I'm giving 160%. So don't expect this every day. I'm going to give you 100% every day, but these projects sometimes need 150% to get done. And that's what I'm doing this week, or that's what I'm doing this month. So be vocal, but say it in the right way and know your audience, because sometimes if you do say that to certain individuals, which those are the toxic leaders, the toxic managers, then those are the ones that are like, well, if they're not going to keep giving me that, then I'm not going to keep them, or, they're going to think you're a poor performer because you're doing less work than what you were last week, but you're still doing 90% more than your team or 80% more than the person on the other side of the desk. You got to voice it, stand up for yourself. But I can't help but to keep saying, know your audience, because if you're in a toxic environment, you can't be as honest and open and transparent. You won't have that psychological safety.
Bring up
full
that
calendar. A full calendar on Outlook doesn't equate busy.
Nope.
I like that. That's good. Because you got some of those who make you put stuff on there, or you have to put stuff on there just so you can get your job done, because people will throw stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually a really good question. Many moons ago, I had a director that she didn't make me. She highly encouraged me to schedule a lunch. Right? We've talked about this. We've talked about eating at our desks. We all know one of us enjoys a good sandwich and a Baby Bell at our desk. Or some what is that popcorn? Smart food?
Smart pop.
Smart pop.
Skinny pop.
Some skinny pop and a beef jerky Slim Jim at their desk.
And don't forget the crackers.
The cracker. And then, another one of us enjoys crawfish at our desk.
Crawdaddy.
Crawdaddy.
Hey.
But we've all been there, right? We all can understand eating I think I eat at my desk almost every day. But this one director, in talking to me about scheduling on Outlook and doing these things, highly encouraged me to block off a section of my day to take a lunch. And she's like, that means you leave the building, leave your desk, have lunch at your sofa if you want, but step away from your workstation and have your lunch. And so my question is, do you guys block off time frames for either lunch or just some like planning time? So like my morning first hour-ish is like catch up, right? You're catching up on your previous day. And then my last hour is to prep for the next day. right?
Mhm.
And it's not always like in hour increments, but that's how I start my day and end my day. But I've known of like peers, present and past, that have blocked off, like, I'm going to block off the first 30 minutes or the last 30 minutes, and all I'm going to do is take care of my admin stuff. And they do that. Like, do you guys think that's beneficial? Is that like on a case by case basis? Like, what are your thoughts?
My last organization, yes. I'll tell you why. Because employee relations and being in HR in general, you never know what's going to pop up. So I still eat at my desk. Like that doesn't change. I just want the time at my desk to eat the whole lunch and have 10, 15 minutes of silence before I go back to doing whatever it is I'm doing. But I do that rarely, not all the time. Typically, I'm doing something else, or I'm just running through lunch because I got too much stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say, look, this is twofold, right? You can do that if a workplace respects your calendar. I hate the fact that you're asked to do. Oh, we lost Mel. That we're asked to do. Put in all your stuff in the calendar. Put your time in, put your breaks, whatever. Just so that we know where your availability is, because some of us work remote, some of us work at different locations and whatnot. But then they don't respect it, right? Like, you clearly are not available between those hours, and you can't schedule a meeting, but you schedule it anyway, and then you expect them. And even when I decline it, you expect me to be there.
Yeah.
But so you don't respect the calendar, and that's a problem, because again, I would say this. I get it. Like, as an HR professional, like we're all saying, things pop off that you don't expect. So, like, you can plan a nice day, right? You can plan your day and say, first thing in the morning, I'm going to check my emails. Then I'm going to try to take my lunch. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to prep for next day's meetings, whatever. All well and good until there's a fight in the parking lot, or there's an ambulance call, or there's some kind of issue, right? So, like, I get it. So sometimes your calendar is this, but the one thing I want to tell HR folks that are listening, whether you're exempt, hourly, I don't give a shit which status you're in. Don't feel guilty about taking a break. Don't. Everybody deserves a break in their workday. Every single person that works there. I don't care if you're the senior executive. Which they take a lot of breaks. I don't care what level you're at. Everyone deserves a break from the job, and so don't feel guilty about saying, this is me time. Walk away, take that break, because there are days you don't do it, and it's fine. Work may dictate that has to be the case, but you should never feel ashamed that you're sitting in your car enjoying the breeze for 30 minutes while you're eating your sandwich. You should not feel you need to decompress, especially in HR. There is some shit you see. There are things that you hear, things that are happening. So again, let's not be naive about it. If you're listening to this and you're in HR, you know exactly when layoffs are coming. You know when bad news is about to hit some people. That weighs heavy on your brain, right? So, like, you need a moment to decompress. So that's my advice to any and all HR people and anybody. Don't feel guilty or ashamed about taking a break. We all deserve it. You all need it. And if you don't, that's when you burn out. So
speak it, baby Bell. Speak it.
Snaps.
So, Jake, what are your thoughts on, like, the calendar and the lunch and the, like, what have you done to make sure that you're just like, do you leave? Because there's times where I had to leave for lunch, but, like, what are your thoughts?
So I have problems. I have issues.
We know.
I know. So I think Big Llama makes an amazing point about setting boundaries for yourself. But in reality, we know that there are those out there that they can't. They know they should. they give that advice to other people, and that's me. Like I am that person. I do have a lunch on my calendar every day, and when I do eat lunch, I'll order it to be delivered, or I'll have it already in my office. And to me, that's my time to catch up at work for the things that I haven't done. So I'll sit at my desk and work on things that I've neglected or I've pushed off to the back burner, and now it's starting to boil, pan dry. But I make sure that I do take increments throughout the day to recover personally. Because I think I've called you a few times, Dr. Green, where I'm literally laying on my office floor saying I'm decompressing.
This is true. Not more than once.
Yes. Well, technically, I call the whole group, but Dr. Green's the only one that answers. Because some people are too busy. But I may not follow the lunch regiment as much as I should. And I think something that Mama Mel said, I'm probably going to steal today, which I didn't think about it, and I've heard it in the past. Putting that 30-minute window in your calendar in the morning to catch up on emails and plan your day of things that may have come up last minute that you didn't plan for the day before, and then putting 30 minutes to an hour in your calendar for the end of the day so you can kind of close out the projects and tasks that you're working on and start getting ready for tomorrow so that you can afford for most of the days walk out at 5, 5:30, 6, 7 for when you're not. Yeah. But I think it's a combination between what the company and employees should respect you and what you should respect yourself. Because I, for the most part, have always worked for organizations that do respect the calendar. It's always just that one or two persons that don't respect the calendar. But as a company as a whole, most companies I've worked for has always respected that calendar. But I think in my situation, I don't respect my own calendar because I abuse that personal time as much as I should, and I can't help it. I have issues.
I mimicked all of what he just said because it's exactly how I am.
Yeah.
Should start calling you Vogue.
Vogue or Rogue?
Vogue.
Vogue, like voguing?
You got issues.
If you haven't seen it, if you heard it here today, and if you hadn't seen it, wait until a YouTube video comes out of Jason doing
I'm just saying, when you say Vogue, I'm thinking of voguing like
I got it, Mel. I got it. I understood the reference.
Thank you, sir.
I understood the assignment, Mel. I got it.
I don't think I've ever read the magazine.
That's the only.
I've seen the movie.
I only look at pictures in magazines. I don't do much reading.
Who looks at magazines?
Said ever. Never mind.
Said everybody.
Wait. Oh, we're it back in. Roll it back in.
There we go.
Spicy coin.
Squirrel.
I know. Wait, spicy block.
There you go. Got to keep it respectable, people. Let's go.
I will throw one little more thing in here because I do want to throw this in there just because we all have had this, and it's such a wonderful topic, and it's about who the hell is controlling the thermostat?
Listen. Okay, all right. We talked.
Mel's on it first. Go, Mel.
Listen.
Listen, Linda.
We talked about. Wait, really quick squirrel moment. I saw an update on the Listen Linda kit. He's really big, like older. He's like in his 20s, I think. I'm like, what? Listen Linda was like last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywho, back to
once again another pop in. We need TikTok pop in. Listen Linda, and then we come back to Mel.
Listen, okay, the thermostat. True story. I worked at a different location from where I normally sit, my home location, right? And they had a vent cover. Like it was like a magnetic vent cover. I'm always cold, so I'm the person complaining that it's always cold in the building, right? My previous facilities person would not change the thermostat. They took all of our keys away for little thermostat boxes so we wouldn't change it, and kept it at like 70 degrees, which I'm sure is like normal to people, but it's freezing to me. My house is on 73, 74. I'm freezing in 70-degree weather. And their response to me was, well, you could bring a sweater. I'm like, I've got a blanket on my legs. I'm wearing a almost a coat, and I'm shaking. So
that's another merch idea. Thermostat's too cold hoodie. Anyway, go ahead.
So listen,
Mama Mel, you didn't have that. You didn't have that thing you just poke in the side vent and like
like use the paper clip and just like.
It's MacGyver.
All those vents have little openings on the side.
No. Really old.
I had a facilities person one time cover my vent with a black trash bag.
That's
you go.
It happen, baby.
I taped it for you, and I'm like, that's no.
Wasn't that noisy?
Take that down. I didn't remember hearing it, but it looks so trashy.
That's why
I didn't get the pun.
Touche, bravo.
Hey, at least it wasn't holding all that hot air. It was cold air. It was cold air.
Listen, listen. Okay, so the thermostat thing is this is a legit issue in all workplaces.
Yes.
Because that's where your people of power and influence come in, right? We've talked about them. The admin and the facilities folks are in cahoots. Admin is cold. You're gonna, it's gonna get warm up quickly. But the most diabolical thing I've ever seen about this thermostat business is a fake thermostat. Your facility guy, on purpose, has it. I'm telling you, this happens everywhere. So when they upgrade their AC units, usually when there's an upgrade or a switch, it's usually centrally controlled. And all those old thermostats in production floors or in office buildings or like on that wall that everyone touches and they think that they're doing anything. Guess what? That thing hasn't worked for 10 years. You think you're controlling it, and then your mind, you're like, oh, it got warmer in here. And the facility guy is laughing the entire time because he hasn't changed that thermostat in months.
That's my hero.
Mama
I'm
Mel,
telling you.
Remember my old office? There was one right behind the door. It didn't control nothing.
Right.
Wait a minute. I'm not about to walk into my office tomorrow and beef with my facilities person.
You need to.
Would.
If you're in tight with them, they'll tell you this doesn't work. But if you're not and you annoy them, they'll go, the thermostat is right there. Here's the key.
Yeah, because it's
tweak it all day long.
It's more expensive to remove them because then they have to cap the wires and put a cover on it versus if they just leave it there and it still has power, but it doesn't control nothing. It doesn't cost anything to the facility to just leave it there. So it's actually financially cheaper not to move them, but aesthetically, they effing with people.
And you know why? You know what? Okay, all of you have seen this. If someone's put in a ticket, the facility guy never came to that thermostat. He never came to that floor, to your office, to where you think the control is. He never was there. You know why? Because he has either a program or it's all in that little like facility area where they just tweak it right there and they turn it up and down.
Hey, I just want to for you three, because I know what buildings y'all work in currently. For you three, I have the thermostat in my office, and it controls my office.
Mine's right there.
I ain't talking about at home. I'm talking about at work.
This is where I work.
Mine's you work? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, besides Dr. Green, that's a little bougie over there, but
he's very bougie. But honestly, the thermostat manipulation and the thermostat issue, it's huge. Like some areas are like like the Arctic North, and like people are bundled up, and in some areas it's a sweat job. Like they're like, and it's all because, again, things are broken. Sometimes they're not efficient, but it's a real thing. And unfortunately, that's how people get sick, and that's how people, because you keep messing with the thermostat. So sometimes you just have to figure out, okay, the office is cold, and this is the temperature that they're at. Especially me, because I'm in Florida, and I know you guys are in hot weather's climates too. But in Florida, it's always hot, it's always 100 degrees. So you turning up the thermostat to 75, guess what? It's going to be 75, 76 the whole time. It will take forever to get back to 70 or whatever that the set temperature is. So like these facility folks are like, nah, we're not touching that thermostat. We don't want to. But some offices are so inefficient. Some of them are so old that you're going to freeze them out. So just be careful with that, because that's an HR issue waiting to happen. Like that's they're going to complain, and this person turned up the air, and Becky from admin is always she has her space heater.
Damn it, Becky.
Yeah, Becky. She has her own heater. But I want people to also understand the laws of physics. How a human body works. When you're in a facility that only has like 200 people in it at 9 a.m., but then by 2 p.m., it's got 2,000 people in there, you can't cool down the building and their bodies at the same time. You got to maintain a lower temperature. So I am sorry, 9 a.m. people, it sucks for you. Okay.
Yeah, it's cold.
You can put on more clothes at work, but you can't strip us so much, or at least at most companies.
Larry Flint.
Just saying.
I feel bamboozled. I feel like a fool.
I let out a secret.
She's going to go start turning all of them down.
Yeah. But this is why we have the podcast. We want to teach you folks the secrets of the office, the behind the scenes of what HR deals with. And that's one of them. And it's a great trick if you're in tight with your facility person, they'll tell you which thermostats work. But I guarantee I will almost be willing to pay a lot of money that in every office there's at least 3 broken thermostats that don't work, and you think they work. And it's amazing to watch people just touch them.
large buildings, okay? You gotta be more specific, Bidlama. Large buildings. Yes. If we're not talking about those offices where you walk in the building and it's 200 square feet and there's only 2 offices.
No. Yeah. You were talking about like large industrial complex offices, like big, with multiple floors.
Yeah. So in case any of you out there were wondering, what does HR do? There's another thing that we deal with right there. Thermostat.
Thermostat complaints, copier jams.
Oh, the copier jam.
No.
I love it. You get an email, hey, there's a piece of paper stuck in the printer.
And I'm like, good. Call somebody who cares. Because it ain't me.
No, that's when you're like, I love that for you.
There you go. I love that.
Is there an HR issue I can help you with?
HR issue I can help you with.
So I think we have probably time for maybe one more, and then we can go around and give our parting shots. Who wants to pick the last one? I don't want to pick one. I'm just saying.
I think Mama Mel should. Mama Mel has too. She's tagged on a lot.
I tagged on one quite a few times. So what the hell does HR do? Nobody knows what we do until you need it. I'm looking to terminate this employee. Can you review, this? Well, what do you have on them? Well, they were late once. Keep going. Well, they were late 5 minutes. Get the hell out of my office.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But really, what does HR do? So the thermostat one was perfect because those complaints come to us. I can't tell you the amount of times somebody's come into my office and said, is there anything we can do about the paper towels in the bathroom? The
hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
can
you do anything paper? About the smell in the bathroom?
Yeah.
I got some Lysol I can give you.
Yeah, like I will go in there and like spray it down, but like what? I don't know what to do for you. It's a restroom, number one. It's a small
And people
restroom
are going
at
number
that.
2. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Or number 3.
Wait, am I the only one, or if we all gotten a complaint about someone smearing feces on the wall?
That would
I know.
be you, buddy. That's all
No.
That's
you.
all you, my friend.
That's all you.
2 different
Did we?
companies. I've had that complaint numerous times that people kept smearing feces on the wall.
Okay, did I tell the story about the diabolical feces guy
Oh my God!
on the
Please
podcast?
tell. Please tell.
I don't know.
Do we want to end it with
Tell it anyway.
with feces talk? Like, we
Wait,
could.
hold on. I do want to, I've been
Go ahead.
holding on to this thought for
Okay.
a while with you. I would like to tell the secret of what is number 1. Tell the feces story, then talk about that piece.
Yes, you are number 1. Go big,
You
Llama.
are number 1, Kenny.
Oh God, you want me to tell both those stories? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll finish the podcast on story time. So, okay. So we'll call this one the there's no other way, the diabolical shitter. I'm just gonna call it that. Like I can't be nice about it.
Number 2. Mm-hmm.
Number 2, yes.
Number 1.
2 worked for.
Who does number 2? All right, so there was a disgruntled employee who carefully crafted a payback plan, okay, which included his feces. All right. I don't know. To this day, I don't know who it was. It was an unsolved mystery, and I want Robert Stack on the case. I want someone to investigate. It's a cold case, but this guy was cold-hearted. So one morning in this office, I get a call from our janitorial staff saying that they are refusing to enter the men's restroom. That they opened the door and the stench was loud. So the supervisor went in and investigated. They walked in, and what they found, I'm not even exaggerating. I wish this was made up. They found feces everywhere. I'm talking mirrors, toilet seats, sinks. There was things written on the walls with feces. Like, this dude had a lot in him, and he got it all out, both mentally and physically. And when I tell you that the reason I call him the diabolical shitter, he figured out a way to make you touch it. So, for example, you walk in, right? You walk in, you see what you see, you cover your face, you go, I need a paper towel. Guess what? Paper towel's covered in feces. So then you go and go, shit, literal shit on my hands. I go to get to the sink. He has shit all over the knobs for the water. And he put it underneath so that it comes out brown when the water comes out of that thing.
So he packed it.
He packed it. Then you're like, fuck, you forget this. I need to leave. You go to grab the doors. The doors are covered in feces. So guess what? You gotta go wash your hands. You touch it again. I'm telling you, this was the most diabolical act I've ever seen. The cleaning staff would not touch it, and they said they weren't paid enough money. They refused. We had to call the cleaning service to come in and like power spray. I don't know what that noise is either. It's Jason again.
Yes.
But yeah, I just, it's like.
Hey, so here.
What? I think you're muted.
I just muted him.
Okay,
I just
cool.
muted him.
Perfect.
So he figured it out. But anyway.
He's like, I don't know.
So that is, and again, there was an investigation. I looked at video cameras of like people walking in the hallways. I couldn't figure out who the diabolical shitter was.
Was Was this the man's restroom or the women's restroom?
Men's restroom.
So we do not judge on gender or anything like that. It could have been a woman that decided to go in there and have a ball. Okay.
I'm not going in the men's restroom. You can't pay me to go in there.
Jake from HR has a question.
Okay. Well, I'm the weird one that I'm trying to figure out if he had all this compacted inside of him or if he collected it over a period of days and brought it to work.
You know, those are things that we have not been able to solve. But I'm telling you, this was a large bathroom and it was everywhere.
Like, you didn't see if there was different stages of dryness?
Oh my god! No,
I did not
found out by watching their hands.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I did not find out what stage of dryness it was or which levels of, but he left us one present.
Thank you.
No, he left us one present on the door that everyone uses to exit that floor. He left a present, and it was right underneath the door handle. Right. So again, he was diabolical. You walked in, you felt something on your hand. Where do you go? To the bathroom to wash your hand. Where was everything? Exactly. You could not escape it. This guy, whoever it was so angry. And I think they're a serial killer, to be honest. I'm going to put that out there. I think they might have murdered someone. But to go to those extreme lengths, and again, I wish to God that this was a fake story. It is a legit, real story. If you are out there and you witnessed this with me, go ahead and put it in the comments. All right, so
and if you were the one that did it, please let us know. We want to get you on the podcast.
I'd love to interview. We'll hide your identity. We'll change your voice.
Yes.
I need to talk to you, and we have questions. Again,
the
did you save it?
Needs to be done.
Was it that day?
What year was this?
This was in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Very bad.
Hopefully, it wasn't an older dude who decided to get revenge.
Well, I don't know. That office
Did
was
you
notorious.
look at your term list? That's where I would have started.
Oh, smart.
We did. I'm telling you, this was an unsolved mystery. We could not figure out who it was, and how it did. And because we have badge swipes, we have all that stuff, and we could not figure out who would have done this. It's crazy.
Or hold on. Or it could have been so coincidental this person had literal just had the lactose intolerant, bubble gut squirts, and you know what I mean?
Listen,
and it would have been
they combust? Did they combust?
Did they lay on the floor and it was a volcano shooting out of their ass? It's not. It was that bad. I'm talking about like a paint sprayer. That's really that bad. And there were messages on the walls.
What were the messages on the walls?
Yeah, what were they? I'm interested.
Were they written with a finger?
I think I don't know that it was. I think they were that calculated. I think it was FU or something like that, but
he got it on himself too.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you know it. You know it for sure.
That's
How did he get out the door?
You are foul. Oh, maybe he opened it and then reached around and then
yeah. No, it was something special. It was a special moment. I've had many special moments.
And if he was that devious, he planned all his meals before that day.
Mm-hmm.
He probably had deviled egg,
Taco Bell,
tuna.
Oh, all I know was it was so foul that our cleaning crews were like, nah, bro, no.
Taco Bell, that was great. Yes.
Ooh,
did they
that chili cheese burrito?
Did they compressor that thing down?
Yeah.
How did they clean it up?
They called like a professional, I think the people who do crime scenes, they called somebody.
They were Has Waste certified because those cleaning crews ain't Has Waste certified. They're not required to clean blood, feces.
No. Right. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
They brought somebody in, a professional, and they cleaned it out. And they had to air out that floor, so it was bad.
And I bet you they took pictures, and y'all ended up on FitFan.
Oh my
I
God.
was not privy to the pictures, and I did not want to see any of that nonsense. But anyway,
Okay, so moving from number one, or I'm sorry, moving to how you became number two to number one.
Oh.
okay,
Oh, nice.
It's my
all right.
favorite story.
I give you the condensed version story of this one.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I'll
I could.
reenact the person who said you were number one. So go.
Okay. So again, employee was termed, and they call me in too late. Person's termed. They are using every expletive deleted language that you can think of in the office on their way out. I have security with me. I asked this now, mind you, the security guard is like 4 feet tall and weighs maybe a $105. So, I know that I could probably like sneeze and the guy's going to fall over, but I have security with me. I feel big and bad. I'm walking the gentleman out. He is yelling audibly to anybody who will listen. F this, F that. This place sucks. Blah, blah, blah. And I've dealt with that 100 times. I know how to deal with it. So now I walk him to the front door, and he, takes off. And I notice that he's talking to people in the front of the building. And I say, well, to the security guard, I think you need to ask him to leave. Security guard was scared. I said, I'll go with you. Walk up there, and I said, I'm sorry, I have to leave. So he makes his way down the side of the building, and I hear that he's still there. He's in the smoking area now, and he's still there. So I go out there with my little security guard, my little tiny friend, my short king.
Wait. How did you hear that he was down there?
Employees were coming into the building saying there's a guy, yelling and saying all kinds of nonsense. So I went back out there thinking I'm just going to ask this guy to leave. And I approached the gentleman and I said, hey, listen, you can't stay on property. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. He's yelling at me. I'm not going to do anything, man. I'm not going to do anything, man. I'm like, I just need you to leave. Like, you need to go and like get going. So he basically tells me to go F myself and walks pretty quickly to his car. Now, mind you, in my brain, I'm looking for exits. Like, if this guy is shooting, or grabs a weapon, what am I going to do? My security guard short king over here is not going to help me. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm surveying my exit routes, my exit points, because he's angry. He lost his job. He just told me to go somewhere and fly a kite. And he gets in his car, revs the engine, peels out, and comes around the bend. And I go, I'm in the movie Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. I'm about to get shot right about now. And he is out of his mind halfway out the car like Dukes of Hazzard with a double-fisted salute saying, you mother, and I'm like, I'm just standing there with the security guard, and I go, and so I've never been more terrified, and I had to come in and tell my boss and whoever, this guy just said I'm number one. He gave me the double-fisted salute. I am number one in his book, and I gestured like he did, and that became the running joke that I am number one. Everywhere I went. But yeah, this guy, I bring up the security guard's height because this dude was 6'5", a towering man, and had anger issues. And I was terrified because I'm like, he's going to pummel me, and this security guard is not going to help me. I'm going to have to help him. So I was a little nervous. I might have peed my pants a little bit, but I'm good. I'm good. So no number twos, though, because I was number one.
That's right. You are.
So when you say double-fisted salute, for everybody who's listening, that means he was given two-handed middle fingers
while driving.
Dukes of Hazzard while driving.
I'm telling you, I don't know how the laws of physics work for him in his car, but he was maybe because he's 6'5". He was halfway out the car, no hands on the steering wheel, The car is going super fast, and he's got the double-fisted salute outside the window while he's driving the car. I don't know if his midsection was driving or touching the steering wheel. I don't know what was going on. It boggles the mind how he was driving at all. But he was going pretty fast, and I swore I was going to get shot. I was like, this is it for me. I lived a great life.
He was using his knee. He was driving with his knee. Anyone from Georgia, Alabama, Florida, we all know how to drive with our knees.
Yeah. This guy was great. He should be a stunt driver, but he wasn't going to work there anymore. That's for sure. and the employees were out in it, like there's a bunch of them out there and saw the whole thing go down. And not one came to my rescue. Not one said anything. They just looked at me with like, I did the walk of shame. Because he said it right to me. He yelled out my name, and I just waved like a little bitch. I was like, and I turned around.
You could have been sarcastic. You could have been screaming back, "I'm number one. I'm number one."
At that point, I was in shock a little bit, and I just walked back. But I can see the judging eyes. They're like, this guy just got punked in front of us, and he didn't do nothing
loser.
What a loser this HR guy is.
That guy's gonna tell me what to do. What a loser.
What a loser this HR guy is.
But you made the right decision.
By your office. Yeah, she did. But they're also probably walking by your office going,
yeah. Well, everyone who heard the story, we would have a signal or something, either in a Teams meeting or walking down the hall, be like, "Hey, what's up, number one?" Or
shirt logo, a hand with a number one saying, "I'm with number one."
I'm number one. That's what it is.
So you gotta have the arrow pointing. I'm with number one.
Oh, I'm with number one. I like that one better.
And then you can wear one that says, "I am number one."
Yeah, I'm number one.
And you can get another shirt that says, "I almost took a number two."
No, he has on the front it says, "I am number one," and on the back it says, "I'm experienced with number two."
The search is going to say diabolical and then a toilet seat. That's what it is.
Yeah, I am number one, and then on the back a diabolical toilet.
Oh. So
unless you watch this podcast, nobody's going to get that, but it'll be funny to us.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad I could share stories. So from the policies and unwritten rules, let's go around the horn and drop your final parting shots. Who wants to start? Oh, the one. Who are you guys pointing to? Oh, they're pointing to you, Mama Mel.
I'm pointing to Chad.
Oh, I can go. Llama's number one. Don't ever forget that. Put some respect on his name.
That's right.
There's just so many that we covered and so many that were left unspoken. My favorite one is the temperature or the thermostat is controlled by Satan. I feel bamboozled. I feel like a fool. I don't feel like number one. And you better believe that I'm going to go in and check that every single thermostat that I encounter every day of my life, because I truly do feel like a loser. I'm gonna leave you with the same parting words that I leave you every single podcast. Independently of what position you hold in your company, be present. Don't be that leader that only comes around when your engagement scores are low, when your KPIs are low, when you're struggling with your attrition. Be a present leader. Don't be an asshole. Be understanding with your folks. Life sucks. We're all going through different challenges. Just be kind. Be kind to your folks.
Good words. Good words. Let's go with Jake from HR.
I kind of want to be like, be kind and rewind.
Yeah.
Showing our age. Showing our age over here. Sorry. So as far as policies, the unwritten rules, just know that HR doesn't write these rules. These are rules that were invented or created or is functional through operations, but we know how to read the room, most of us. Pay attention to the unwritten rules because the workplace environment is like any university and college. It is a place that you go to learn and excel and advance. And you're not going to have all the answers, and you're never going to be the smartest kid in the class. But if you open your eyes and shut your mouth long enough, you will learn and you will observe and see the things that you need to know that's going to benefit you on where you want to go in your future, whether that's you're coming to work for a bare minimum paycheck. Sometimes those are our best workers in the industry, and it's okay to be one of them. Or you want to be the do it everything, excel, exceed, work through lunch because you're salaried, and you just want to like work your butt off because one day you want to be that VP or that CEO. Whatever route you want to take, just make sure you understand the unwritten rules as well as you understand the policies and know your audience, and when necessary, which is at least 90% of the time, act your wage. Unless someone taps you on the shoulder and knights you and betroths you to go do something that's above your wage, do your job. And if you're going to do more, make sure it's in processes, not people. So that's my ending.
All right, Dr. Green, your thoughts?
I think the parting wisdom, because whether you're in the military or whether you've been in the military or whether you're in civilian life, worked in HR or whatever it is, everyone has experienced to where they want to do a little less because they were so good at their job and they just kept getting more. Eventually, when you have good leaders, they see that talent. We don't know what they're grooming you for, but they could be. But also be mindful. If you know that you have exceeded what you need, it's okay to go to another organization. What's not okay is for you to take a job and get really good at it and then start doing your boss's work too, or start doing extra work because of that. So my advice for you is, Jake from HR says, act your wage. I say, act your title, because you are worth the next title that you want to be in. So you can leave that organization and go get that title.
Excellent. I think I'm going to go with some things that Mama Mel was talking about, about being present, about being, a good leader. I think just, again, I say it, I think every week, it's about being a genuine human being, about being just a good person. We are going to make mistakes, but it doesn't mean, and now I'll say this, right? I think I said it tonight, but this is how I want to part and let you guys know, is like, it totally sucks that work is a game. It sucks that you have to play this game, but it's the unwritten rules. It's what happens everywhere. So this is not, again, even great environments, even great work areas, work environments have these unwritten rules. You just have to learn what they are, but don't change who you are. Know what I think Jake has said it too, like, know your audience, know the people, know the power dynamics. All of these things are important, and it's part of working in corporate jobs, being in HR. You have to know what the dynamics are, but don't change who you are. Try to stay true to being just a good person. If you're a leader, be visible, right? Don't just fake it, right? And honestly, if that's not your personality, then great, fine. We know when you're being fake. So stop doing that. But if you're not about people and you're in HR, if people bother you, again, we're jokingly talking about the worst of the worst, right? That happens in HR. But there's like almost 80% of the work that comes in. It's you're helping somebody that needs help, right? You're helping someone who needs FMLA, right? Because they need to go on maternity leave, and that's a great fun thing, and it's a wonderful experience, right? Someone who's going through a hard time, needs EAP. There's great things that we do in HR, so don't discount those things and don't take away from the good work that you do as an HR professional. And I think that's what is missing is, right, the human part of HR, the human resources. It has nothing to do with rules. Okay. Those of you who have that learned school knowledge and shit, that you guys go to school and you read the books and the policy procedure. Yes, you know it. And you've got your SHRM certificate. Congratulations. But you don't know shit about the workplace. You have to be a human being and understand dynamics. So if you're listening to this and you're that person, I'm not saying that you're not a good person or a good HR person, but you have to learn to develop your skills as an HR professional. So again, I am not the greatest at policy, but my intent is always a good one. So when I mess up, it's with good intention. So take that from me for tonight's episode. Who started us off? Jake, you close us out. you have adjourned the meeting for us.
We do. But there's a slight edge to the ending. We're going to bring it to a close with reminding all of our audience to be amazing. Take what we give you with a grain of salt. And until we call you into the office next time, have an amazing night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Well, that's another episode of the Four Friends Trying to Figure Out HR. We didn't solve anything, but hey, at least we tried.
And by tried, we mean we laughed, we overshared, and we probably violated some HR guidelines ourselves.
But remember, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take our advice. Seriously, don't.
And if your HR manager asks, you've never heard of us or this podcast.
Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and join us the next time as we keep trying to figure out HR and fail spectacularly.
Now, go be productive, or at least pretend to be.
And tell your boss that I said hi.
Tell your mom I said hello.
Tell your daddy I said hey.
And remember, hate has no home here.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week again for a fresh round.